Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It is Monday evening, and let's see. The market was a little bit odd tonight or today, and we'll see what's going on tonight and what's going to be happening tomorrow. And we have a Monday night football game on. It is the Cardinals and the Cowboys playing tonight, so we'll keep you updated on that bad boy as well. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody tonight? And let's see what the market looked like. That's how it closed right there. NVIDIA, Amazon, and Tesla were the ones that were green today for the most part. And then they did pull back. They were jamming in the beginning of the day. And that's what they look like right there. You can see right at the beginning, they were jamming up. They stayed up and then pulled back a little bit for Amazon. Tesla was running up pretty good today. As you can see, it started down there and just kept running up. And also, what was the other one? Amazon, Tesla, and it was NVIDIA. That was the other one right there. And NVIDIA was running up as well this morning and just kind of cruised back up at 130, came back down. So that's what they look like. They were the big runners for the most part. They had some news and all that good stuff. So anyway, let's get cruising. And IREN, that had some good news, and that was popping up today as well this morning. And you can see it was going pretty heavy there at 6 a.m. And then as it opened up, it came down and then kind of moved up a little bit at the end. But that's what was moving around there today. So let's go through the market, see what's going on. You have PRLD running up, Prelude. And how about MSPR, guys? And I know Doge Mama 9 was excited about this one today, as a couple other people were. So glad you guys caught that run up. It was well over 100%. There you go, 136% right there. And that's like not even up there. Where did it run up to? I forget what it even got up to today. It opened at what, 56. It got to 109 right there, guys. So this thing was cruising along, and I was talking about it a couple times today, and it could try to run some more tomorrow. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And I think I have to sneeze. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys, but there you go. And Tesla was up on news overwhelming support from investors for Elon's proposed compensation package. So new AI5 chip is next level for Tesla. And let's see what's going on here. So let's run through. We'll check out the market. I'll keep you updated, like I said, on the game. And it is the Cardinals and the Cowboys are playing this evening, so we'll keep you updated on that one. Let me get that all set up as well, and we'll get cruising through the market and see what else is happening here. So thank you, Luis Rodriguez. And I did have to sneeze. I don't know. I come on here and I have to sneeze. How about Tylenol Maker today? Popping up early there this morning. Check this bad boy out. We should have known it was getting set up. We've been talking about it. And it did blast off pretty early up there, and it stayed up for the most part up there today. And you can see up over 12%. So hitting the 50, we'd have to look at it tomorrow and see what it wants to do. But that is at KVUE. And that's why it's been the second one on the list for a little while. We knew it was going to get set up down here. It was just a matter of time. And sometimes I guess you just got to take that risk when you know they're bottomed out right here and you know they're kind of just bouncing around. At some point, you're going to get them to pop up today. I don't even know what the news was, to be completely honest with you. Let's see. I have no idea. Oh, yeah, I have no idea. There's way too much news right there. But KVUE, there you go. And it finally got cruising. An open door. I was talking about this on the small cap show. If you guys were hanging out, greatly appreciate you hanging out at the small cap show. But this thing is getting set up, and we were talking about it last night. A little bit of pullback here, so just watch for any dips. Has its earnings on November 6th, so on Thursday right there. And we'll be keeping an eye on open door to see if it wants to get moving again. It is trying to get set up, and maybe it doesn't get immediately, but it's setting up right here. One to definitely keep an eye on, and that is open door, OPEN and QMCO. Let's check this out. The computer hardware crew right here, and it was just kind of pulling back, fading a little bit. Nothing real crazy here with QMCO and its gang, but it doesn't look like it's ready, that's for sure. And I'll be honest with you, there is not a whole lot of great setups at this moment. You know something's not right in the market when you see that start to happen, and they were trying to really get set up, and not saying that they can't, but they are just kind of drawing back a little bit. I thought they'd be cranking up right now, and they're absolutely not doing that. And we'll look at our computer hardware and ones. But the SPY right here, it was up and then it pulled back in that after hours. As you can see, it was dipping down there towards the end. And let's see what the rest of these guys are doing. Your IWM was pulling back a little bit. It was down right here today, and we were talking about it. And I shorted it from Friday down to here. I sold it way too early because then it came way down and then jumped back up. And then it stayed up for the most part today. And that was your IWM and your Qs right here were jumped up, and they also pulled back right at the end of the day right there. So tomorrow's going to be an interesting open, that's for sure. And let's go through and see what our GTI and the other computer hardware and quantum ones are doing, because they were pulling back right there. What are the ETFs on this? I totally forget. Let's see. That one, and which one's the short? RTGZ right here. That was it. Let's write it this one down. RTGZ. And that one does look pretty good. And that is your RTGI ETF. So let me just write that one down right there, because that one is trying to look pretty, kind of looking good. It's new, so you don't have a whole lot of data there. But obviously with RGTI, looks like it wants to pull back. That would be a safe bet right there. Or you could put a put on here, but they do look like they want to pull back some more, and we'll obviously be watching them tomorrow. But that's not a great look right there, I'm not going to lie. And here you go with QUBT, and that looks like it's going to pull back. So obviously they can get changed around tomorrow. I'm just telling you what they look like at the moment, but they do not look perfect right now. And this is the computer hardware and quantum one, so they could have a little more pullback. Here's your D-Wave quantum one, and that's pulling back as well, and it has that support line down there. Last time it hit it, it did bounce off. So we'll see what's going on with QBTS and all of these things right here. We already looked at QMCO, and QTUM is the one I meant to put in the Defiance Quantum. And look at that ETF pulling back right there. So not a good look for your quantum and computer hardware ones. IONQ pulling back, and IONZ right here might be a good play going in. Look at that thing trying to get set up, guys. That's another one we might want to look at. IONZ, and that is your opposite of IONQ, just a short way to do it, and an ETF 2 times. So definitely going to have to keep an eye on them tomorrow. And how about that Z space right here, just pulling back a little bit more? And I mean, it's only coming back to its old bottom. They have earnings coming up. I don't know what they even do, but it's nothing crazy, that's for sure. And watch, they blow their earnings out the water and it goes nuts, but I doubt it. Don't look like it. RCAT also pulling back, hitting the support line down here, and looks like it wants to blast right through that coming down, and that's not a good look right there for RCAT. So there you go for your quantum and computer hardware stocks. They're not looking great. And speaking of RCAT and the big cats, let's look at the line right here. That was way down today. I saw that dipping down, hitting the bottom. Maybe that one's going to get ready to pop up. We might want to keep an eye on the old lion, LGHL right there. That one could get set up relatively soon off that dip. JAGX also is pulling back right there. And your cheetah, your CTMT, a little bit of pullback. So your big cats are pulling back as well right there. So not only are the quantum and computer hardware ones pulling back, the big cats are too. And let's keep on cruising right through and see what's going on here. UNH, that was pulling back big, 777. It was just the unlucky day for it. Just the opposite way. You want to see 777. You want to see a green, not red. So there you go with that. And yeah, definitely not looking great right there for UNH at the moment. And I think they have a short as well. What was that one? Oh, it was only a 2-time long one. Oh, the UNHG. There was not a short, but look at that thing falling right there. So definitely want to stay away from that at the moment. And Oscar right here kind of pulling back, and looks like it could pull back a little bit more right there. So we'll definitely look at all these guys and see what they want to do. But the market didn't look great today, that's for sure. And there's ABTC, American Bitcoin Corp, and that one's pulling back right there, trying to fall down to the line, and we'll see if it does want to come through. So that is our Trump family crypto one. And PEW right here, Let's see what's going on. And that one is pulling back as well, as trying to spike up the other day. And that's why I said we have to wait for these things to absolutely be like completely ready to pop before we even take a move at any of these Trump company ones. And then CPL right here is just kind of sitting on that trend line, but it's just hanging out and pulling back a little bit. Nothing real crazy. It looked better the other day in PSQH. Another one still has mad time to set up, and they have earnings coming up on Thursday on the 6th. So that is what that looks like, PSQH and the Trump family ones. And I like how they asked him on 60 Minutes why he pardoned that dude from Binance. Which one? What company was it that? The dude with the two letters, what is it? CZ? I don't even remember what his name is. But anyway, and he just like, I don't know. He just acted like he had no idea. And they like bought like $2 billion worth of crypto into the World Financial or whatever crypto company is. They have all kinds of companies going on. It's kind of crazy, guys, with crypto. So yeah, I would say pardon Joe Exotic before you pardon that dude. But I guess Joe Exotic's not buying $2 billion worth of crypto for Trump, so he's not getting a pardon. But anyway, kind of crazy stuff goes on in this country, and he just makes it open with crypto, where the other people they were like just passing bills and putting money in their pocket and had all kinds of shady stuff. Trump just does it right in the open for us. It's pretty bizarre, I'm not gonna lie. And I guess he figures, well, everybody else is doing it too, so I'll just do it and just let you guys know about it because everybody clearly can see what goes on. I mean, the last big dip right there, like I said, you had a crypto wallet get created, and 30 minutes later, it made about $200 million. It shorted Bitcoin with like 200 time leverage or something insane, and then it just like made an insane amount of money. So, I mean, that was the only crypto wallet that really did anything like that, and I would have to say they were sitting right next to Trump creating that thing when he was putting out the tweet that whatever was going on was a tariffs for China or whatever. But yeah, so that's what you see going on, and that's why I say we have to watch these companies. You know they'll run, but you got to be careful with them. And BMNR pulling back big right now as crypto. Speaking of which, I'm looking at it. Uh, Bitcoin's at 106,547. Ethereum's at 3,620 right there. Solana at 166. Ripple's at 233. Cardano back to 55 cents. Chainlink's down to 1531. So yeah, these bad boys took a nice dip right there. You can see that's not a pretty look for crypto, that's for sure. So let's take a look and see what's going on. I honestly thought these things were trying to get caught up on the MACD and try to bounce back up, and they just blew right through it coming down. So clearly, we're going to have to see it come to the bottom line and then try to regain itself. But definitely not a good look for crypto. I can tell you that right now. And Ethereum right here pulling back, and look at its 50 way down here at like 3,300. So are these things going to pull back down here and really get bouncing? Like I said, it's not a great look. Could they do it? They could, obviously, but that's more of coming back down kind of look. So we'll be keeping an eye on it just to see how these get set up. Definitely not what I thought they were setting up to do. That's for sure. As they were running up, and even that little pullback, they could have got moving, but they're definitely pulling back too much. Unless you're really going to have this crazy dip and rip, it's not the first time that we've ever seen it with these guys. So I mean, they were coming up and dip down, and then they get cruising. We've seen it before, so we'll see if we're going to see it again at the end of the year right here. I thought we were really going to see it. And again, this could just be this dip and rip situation, but that was Ripple coming back down. Look at it all the way back down, and it passed through that 20 right there, coming to your MACD. Most of them are curling through, as you can see, Cardano, ADA, and that's coming down to the bottom, and Stellar. So all of crypto right there. So let's get back to our list because we were looking at BMNR right here, and that obviously pulled back, being a really big Ethereum treasury. And how about SBET's another big Ethereum treasury, and this is down almost 6% today. So these things are trying to get set up with crypto. But with crypto pulling back, they obviously cannot run. And UPXI is the big Solana one, and that's getting chopped down right there big time as Solana's back to 166. So That's a pretty big dip for Solana. It was down like 10% earlier. It was pretty crazy. And anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with our crypto report right there. And then we have our ORBS, and that was pulling back. And this thing's really trying to get set up. It's been trying to so many times. And if I'm glad we've been very patient because it's been paying off. We can obviously get these things at way better prices. And I think the game's about to start, possibly. It looks like perhaps. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, the Cardinals and the Cowboys are playing, and it looks like the game's getting kicked off right about now. So there you go. We'll keep you posted. And ORBS, we'll keep you posted on when this thing's really ready to be rocking and rolling. We've just been following it, watching it pull back here. And FGNX, this is another Ethereum treasury right here, if I remember correctly, and it was starting to set up there. So we'll keep an eye on this as crypto hopefully gets set back up. And like I said, if it doesn't get set back up relatively soon, some of these things could really start to fall down. But I do think it's going to be like a dip and rip kind of look. We've seen it many times. And I think we're going to see it towards the end of the year. And yeah, the game just got kicked off right there. So there you are with your Monday night game, and it is the Cardinals Cowboys. Keep you updated on that one. NFGNX will keep you updated on that one as well. So let's take a look and see what else is going on here with LBGJ and Libang International. And this one was cruising up. This is one that we were talking about, saying it was looking pretty good. And remember, I was saying these penny stock China ones were looking good, and they are running right there, including that MSPR, but that's a US one, but it was looking pretty good. But it was a penny stock, and it was up over 100% today, that's for sure. And that YDKG, this one is getting set up as well. So you might want to keep an eye on YDKG right there. That's looking pretty nice. And that NIXX, let's look at that. That's a stock authority one. And again, we're just watching it. He said, watch this thing as it pulls back and bottoms out. It'll be a pretty good one. I think he's right about it because this thing is getting set up right there and basing out now. So we are keeping an eye on this NIXX, see when it really wants to get cruising back up. You don't want to hop in it too early here, but I do think it might be making a bottom and a base down here for NIXX and LITM. This one is a mining one. I couldn't think of that. Mining one, and it's been just kind of pulling back right here. And let's see, I think this one's going to start to get a curl up, and we'll watch all the mining ones and see what they want to do. And they obviously can pull back a little bit more, but that's why we're going to be super patient and just wait for this 20 and everything to get completely set up for it, and then we'll get into these things. But obviously, you got to keep them on the list here so we can keep track of them and know exactly what they want to do. Sinez Tech down here, and I think Ben did post out the fact that they were going to have an interview coming up real soon. And look at that, it already jumped up 5.5%. So just off of Ben's news. Now, I don't know why it jumped up there, but he is having an interview. I did retweet it, reposted, so that's how I know. And he's posted it out. So I forget exactly what day it is, but I think there's earnings, and then they have an interview with the Sinez Tech CEO. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. And that is SNES and IVF right here. We know this one all too well, obviously. And honestly, it's not looking too bad. Look at it trying to curl up. We'll see if it can get through that MACD. It's not looking terrible right there for IVF. So we will be watching it. Check that out right there. So it might actually be a possibility for IVF to get cruising in your 20s up here at about 65 cents. So we will be keeping an eye on that bad boy right there. We know that one good. And Uber right here was driving up today, and didn't they have their earnings today or tomorrow? They have their earnings tomorrow. That was it. We were talking about it today, and it was cruising along. So keep an eye on that for its earnings tomorrow. It's got some good resistance right there, right around 190 cents. So keep an eye on it for that. But yeah, Uber is going in the earnings pretty strong, and Lyft right here not looking bad. And that's another one we were talking about the other day, and that's trying to get set up, I would say. So keep an eye on Lyft. Uber was looking good right there. And let's see what else is going on with our list, and we'll cruise right through WTO, and that was up 14%. This was on the list as well, and it's cruising along looking pretty good, guys. So Another one of them China small caps that I think we have to absolutely keep an eye on right there for WTO. And here's your UCAR. And I think that was kind of sitting there as well, not looking bad if I type it in correctly. Yeah, it was cruising up. And that was another China small cap one we were talking about. And that one right there was running up. So, like I was saying the other day, I think the China small caps are looking pretty good. I put a bunch of them on the list, quite a few, all these guys that are set up, and most of them are up right there. And even one that ran like 100%, I believe. Well, MSPR we didn't have on yet, but there was a couple that run up pretty good already. And so, yeah, UCAR right there, not looking bad. And let's see what else is going on with that. TONX pulled back today, and then it started to move back up, and then they're in like a quiet period. I didn't even know what that meant, to be honest. I had to look it up to see what the heck that even meant today. And if I remember correctly, what I looked up, the quiet period is right before earnings. The company can't disclose things to investors or anything like that, or have any insider buys, and then they have to have earnings. So I don't know exactly what the period time frame is. If anybody does know, you guys can let me know, because I don't even know if I saw that. But yeah, I had no idea what a quiet period was. I'd never even heard of that. But again, I'm not an earnings person. Excuse me, and I don't even look at news very often. You guys know that, nor care about it. But TONX, we've been tracking it down, and I know Ben was talking about it. So yeah, I'm learning all kinds of interesting stuff about the market. It is fun. What's it say? Nasdaq reprimands TON strategy over 272 million ton purchase. And holy cow, what is going on with this thing? TOX coin falls as Nasdaq flags rule violation, and they had like by a major holder. Holy cow, I didn't even see that today. We got to talk about that tomorrow. I guess that's why it was jumping around. Someone's trying to buy 272 million or 558. I don't even know what's going on. That says over 272 right there. This says 558 million. I don't know if it's all the same purchase right there, but that's a lot of money in TON coin, I would say. So somebody knows something. Well, we already know that they actually aren't getting delisted, but now the Nasdaq's reprimanded them over that. So we got to see what's going on with TONX. All kinds of craziness right there. And let's see what else is going on. But TONX, we definitely have to follow that drama tomorrow. And our Bath and Body Works was kind of basing out down here after that dip down. So we'll keep an eye. And this one we looked at last night, and it wasn't looking too bad, and it still doesn't. CORT, I'm not sure what the heck this is, but that could be a good one for tomorrow. It obviously was moving today, and it does have earnings tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on it. I don't even know. I guess I saw it on the scanner, I'm sure. And yeah, it's kind of curling up. Your 20s coming down to your 50. Interesting look as it curls up towards it. I don't know, but we'll keep an eye on CORT tomorrow and see what it has. Some earnings coming up. So let's mark that. And DLXY right here. Let's see what that was doing, down a little bit. It had run up the day before, and that was Friday. So not the day, but the last trading day, it was running up DLXY. And let's see what it really looks like here. It still doesn't look bad. I'd say keep that on your list as well for DLXY. And Oris is looking pretty good, ORIS. So we'll take a look at that one real quick. Oriental Rise, another China small cap. And this one looks really good for tomorrow. So yeah, definitely be keeping an eye on ORIS. And you know what, guys? How funny is it? We had like a entire show debate about what Lily. I don't know if it was a debate, but I was trying to figure out what the heck Lily Ellie's name is. And doesn't that thing blast off today? And we were looking at it, obviously, for a while last night, because we were talking about it. What did we decide its name was? Eli Lilly? Is that what I totally forget. Holy cow. That's how bad my brain is. But anyway, I'm not even going to worry about it tonight. Look at that thing up for $33 today. We were sitting there talking about its name last night for like 45 minutes, and it went blasting off today. How ironic is that, guys? And that's just that's just like things that happen to me. I don't know. We just pick this thing out of the blue and start talking about its name, and then the next thing you know, it's running up over $33 the next day, and it's kind of interesting there. But there you go for LLY. I think it's called Eli Ellie Lilly. I totally forget what we even said last night. How crazy is that, guys? Talked about it for like at least 45 minutes to an hour, and now I don't even remember. So that's what you get with me. And there's LLY. We'll call it that for now on. It's a lot easier. But yeah, how about that thing blasting off? And remember, we were talking about Interactive Brokers group the other day, and we were talking about this is the other one that you can trade at 4 a.m. and it was looking pretty good. And there you go. It was running up right there. Might keep its momentum right now. So there you go with that. TWG right there, that Top Wealth, Deep Soul Diving. How are you? That looks really good. And I'm glad you brought that up because I totally forgot to jot that one down today. I saw that little Hong Kong one setting up right there. And it does look really good. So thank you very much for reminding me right there. Deep Soul Diving. And let's see what else is going on right here with the rest of these. This Carnival Corp or whatever looks like it's trying to get set up. It's trying to crawl up, not looking bad. I'd say in the next few days, this thing will probably take off right there. So keep an eye on that Carnival Cruise or Carnival Corp, whatever the heck it is. And then maybe it even tries to run up a little bit tomorrow. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a market's a little choppy and rough right now, choppy seas, and we'll see how Carnival Corp navigates the ocean tomorrow. How about that? And that is CCL right there. And MSPR, we don't have to really say much about that. It's over 100%. And I told you guys about that bad boy. So, and Doge Mama 9, I think she was at the Dodgers parade today. So those of you that are big Dodgers fans out in LA, I'm sure you guys were out celebrating the World Series win. Congratulations. And also at the parade, I believe that was also today. So there you go. And our game is 0-0 in the first quarter with like 9:34 left. So, and the Cardinals had the ball. And MSPR, that had the ball today and ran like over 100 yards because it was over 100%, well over 100%. It might have been 300% at one point. I completely forgot, but yeah, Doge Mama 9 said that she enjoyed that one. So thank you there, Doge Mama 9. Glad you had a good day with that. And there we go with MSPR. So here we go with GHI, a couple that caught my eye. Greystone Housing Impact right here. And look at this thing rolling into its earnings on Thursday and looking pretty good, I must say. Look at that thing based out and way down here. I would say that's been beaten down pretty well for GHI. So we might want to be keeping an eye on good old GHI right here. It does look pretty good, like it wants to run, guys. So I think I'm going to keep my eyes on that one right there. GHI. Let me jot that down right there so I remember to look at it tomorrow. And let me have a drink. And there you go. And let's see. Up first quarter 0-0, 8:54 left. And the Cardinals had the ball 2nd and 10 on their own 30-yard line or somewhere right around there. So that's your little NFL update real quick. And GHI, guys, like I said, we definitely have to keep an eye on this thing in the morning because this thing is looking way too good right there. It's beaten down like crazy and starting to crawl up towards that earnings right there. So it definitely caught my attention today. I can tell you that right now. And let's see what else is here. Vintage right now. Let's see if this old thing, Vantage. I thought it said vintage, to be honest with you. It says Vantage. I'll tell you, I can't read anything. I honestly thought it said vintage for like all day today when I saw it. And it is VNTG. And yeah, this one just kind of caught my eye on the scanner, trying to get set up here. So it is Vantage. It's not even that old. It's called Vantage. I thought it was a vintage one, but it's absolutely not. And I just can't read anything. And so, yeah, I'm just going to watch that one, see how it wants to set up. It did catch my attention. And God, Chipotle way down here, guys. Holy cow. Look at this thing down here on them earnings. And I was surprised because this thing was trying to get set up to run. And the next thing you know, it ends up in the basement. So we'll watch Chipotle and see when it wants to get pretty good. I was saying I don't like the food, but the stock chart was looking good, and it was until it took that nice dip. And I'd have to say this is where I actually like them a lot better in the basement. So I would say it looks way more appetizing to me in the basement down here rather than when it was looking, and it looked good to me because it was rolling up here onto that trend line in your 20 and 50. I remember we're kind of meeting up right there, and then boom, there you come all the way down on its earnings, and now it's getting set up. So that is what we're looking at Chipotle CMG. And let's see, I can't even read what I wrote right there. There we go. TVRD. I think I had this on the list last night. It caught my attention. It was down some more today. And yeah, just watch this thing get set up. And I think this thing will get cruising. So I guess it'll try to bottom out relatively soon right here, TVRD. So keep an eye on this, guys. Look at that curling up, just getting through the MACD. And that's when they just about like to run. It used to be sometime, well, most of the time they'd be running right about here, like 2-3 days before they cross up. Now, a lot of times they're getting through and then running up there. It's been a little weird of a market. And again, it's been a little choppy. So they haven't really followed like really one straight pattern. They've been all over the place. And UHG is a United Homes Group of residential construction. And this thing's been beat way down there. So look at this guy trying to get set up. And another one, keep an eye on, and we'll see how this gets set up right here, UHG. But I would say it's trying to bottom out, and they also have some earnings coming up. I think that's what it said over here anyway. Doesn't say it on FinViz, but it does say it over there. So we'll be keeping an eye on UHG and see what they want to do. And let's see what this one looks really good. TDIC Dreamland. And this thing is a Hong Kong advertising company. And look at this thing getting curled up with a little bit of momentum. In the after hours, it looks like TDIC. So, yeah, keep an eye on this. Look at that thing getting curled up, looking pretty good there. So, a couple of them caught my attention, that's for sure. And what is MODD, Modular Medical? And it was running up some today. It was running up in the after hours there, and it didn't look too bad to me to try to keep a little momentum there. So, keep an eye on MODD right there. So that's your MODD. So yeah, there's a couple that caught my attention. And I'll be honest with you, the BTGD and these guys obviously not doing too great right there. So we're not even gonna have to go through all them. And then JNUG and these guys were also pulling back gold and everything. I was talking about that on the small cap show. So there you go with some of these. And here's your NGD pulling back a hair. But this is the interesting thing is the DZZ was also pulling back, and that's a double short for gold, and that's pulling down. So I'm not even sure what the heck's going on because everything's pulling back right there. I would think that one double shorting it would be going I guess, oh wait, if they guess it's going down. Yeah, if you're shorting it, I don't know. I'm completely confused with that. I thought that would be going up and it's going back down. This is going up. J Dust and these ones are looking pretty good. And these are the opposite of like J Nug, and I forget what the other one is, but yeah, J Dust. Keep an eye on this thing for tomorrow because, like I said, it looks like gold's going down. What the hell is the other one? It's not J Nug. I don't. It can't be that. It's I can't even think what it is right now, but I do know it's the Dowie. Shoot, what junior? Let's see. J Nug. It wouldn't be the juniors. That's why it would be the gold miners. It's not coming up. I don't really even know. I can't think of what it is, guys. Gold mine. Yeah, it's not going to come up. I'd have to bring them all up. Anyway, why can't I think of it? J Dust and there's something else. I can't really think of it. And but yeah, there's J Nug and Nug. We just looked at them and the opposite. Are they on my list right here? Let me see. No, I don't think they are. Not on this list. They're on that other ETF list. Where is that thing? It's somewhere around here. Anyway, I can't think of what it is, but we'll look at it in the morning. I'll grab it and check it out. But yeah, that one's looking pretty good. I'm sure the other one's looking pretty good. And again, it's the opposite of Nug. And I can't think of what the heck it is, but this is the opposite of J Nug, and it's J Dust right there. So looking pretty good for that one. And let's keep on cruising along. So let's see what silver's up to, and that's not looking that great either. Kind of pulling back underneath that support line. So there you go with them. And we'll roll through our Jolie's jams. We'll check out our laptop travel list and our Spy Mag 7. We already took a look at crypto. It's way down. Again, Solana's at 167. Ethereum's at 3630. Ripple's at like 233 right there. And Bitcoin's at 106, 970. So it's trying to go up a little bit. And yeah, they're not looking exactly stellar right now. Let's put it that way. And it's not the what's the opposite of J Dust? Or what's the opposite of Nug? Luis Rodriguez. I can't think of what it is, and it would be like similar to J Dust, like this one. I have no idea why I can't think of it. Is it on my one watch list? It could be. It's driving me crazy now because it's just I just can't think of anything. And let me see. Hold on. Is it on here? Of course not. I have J Dust on there. Oh, is it Dust? It might be Dust. That's what it might be. Is it? Yeah, this is it right here. DUST. That's it. There you go. All right. That's what it is, guys. DUST. So that's what it is. I couldn't. It's the other one's J Dust. I couldn't remember Dust. Go figure. But there you go. Yeah, it's the opposite of Nug is this one. And that's Dust right here. So yeah, this is the index gold miners, and Nug would be your bull one. So yeah, that's what it is. DUST. My bad, guys. I completely was drawing a blank, but look at this thing trying to set up. So gold could be dumping down a little bit more, and that's what it looks like. Looking at these guys right here. So there you go. And then apologies for not being able to think of that. My brain was just racking for that. I could not think of J. I could think of Dust, and I'm saying the word J Dust like 100 times. AMDZR is tomorrow, isn't it, Janica? Let's take a look and see. And yes, it is right there. And it's an interesting one. Let me look at it better right here. I mean, you would assume I am so bad at the ERs, but I would assume they're probably going to beat it. I mean, they've been doing really well lately. It's on top of that trend line and support line right there. Your 20s cruising up, and it looks like it wants to roll off the MACD, getting to the top. We obviously will look at it in the morning, Janica, but it looks like it's going pretty well for them. I don't know exactly what time their earnings are. And what's it say? AMD set the report with investors focused on AI and cloud momentum as ADIA files patent infringement lawsuits over semiconductor technology. And you see lawsuits all the time. Like I said, every company sees lawsuits. And somehow they never really bankrupt the company one way or the other. I mean, some do, but I mean, these things. Um, at the worst case, they're paying this company a bunch of money, and that's the stock will dip for a day or two. But that's not happening tomorrow. But yeah, it's going into its earnings right there, and not looking bad. It's at the top. It's been running up, and I just get scared because I always say 1, 2, 3, and usually they come back down right there. So I would definitely be cautious right there. And one stop in this top, two stops in the top, and three stops in the top. And generally, they like to come down, and look how hard it's coming on the MACD there, Janica. So we will look at it in the morning, but that's what it looks like going into its earnings right there. And here we go. We'll go through our Jolie's jams, see what's going on. Rhythm was actually down, I believe, today. Yeah, I was looking at that one, and it did pull down a good amount right there. A bunch of them obviously pulled down. Blink was down a little more. Looks like it's going to pull back some. And good old Sezzle was down a little bit more and going to pull back a little bit more. And even the Sterling was popping up. And what do I keep saying, guys? I mean, this thing's crazy. Every time it goes down, it pops up. And then it went up more in the after hours right there. It's pretty wild right there for this STRL. We just have to keep an eye on this thing. I keep saying it every single day. And for some reason, every day, I don't like to play that thing for some crazy reason. And every single day, it does exactly what we keep saying. It'll dip down, then go right back up. And it does it every time. It's wild. So, anyway, PLTRZR went south in the end. That's the thing, Janica. These things, I mean, we were looking at it in the after hours. If you were on the Discord and the live trading, Ben and I were talking about it, and it did. It popped up right there, and then boom, they come straight down. And so these earnings are a little hard to really tell. And I guess if you're getting into them, you got to get out on that initial spike and not worry how much it's going up, because once they start pulling back, it's kind of over right there. And it was crazy because Palantir did that. And then Hims right here, like basically did the exact opposite. It went straight down right after the open and then shot straight up right there and then stayed up there. So it's very bizarre. I'm not going to lie. And actually, Ben had taken some of these and it pulled back. And when it came to even, he had gotten out and then it shot up right there. So, and it's hard, guys, it's tough to even know what the heck these things are going to do in the after hours. You're looking at the chart, it moves so fast. And even as well as you can read a stock chart, they can go any which way so quick. So, this is a choppy market right here to be able to navigate through. And that's why I say I think sometimes you just got to pick them setups, know that you're comfortable and confident with them, and let them play out the way that you think they are and lock in your profits on them, especially in a market like this. But here we go. And we looked at Sterling, it was ripping up. And good old Rivian, I thought, was setting up right there. And it was up a little bit. It went in up a little bit and then came back down. And we'll have to see what Rivian wants to do. It does look like it's getting pretty good, but they have their earnings tomorrow, so we'll be looking at that one. Another earnings report right there. And Symbiotic right here had been up a little bit and hitting some resistance. This has been running up lately, and let's see what it wants to do right there. Like I said, it was hitting resistance, hitting the top. I could see it pulling back down to around the 20 to get set back up there for Symbiotic. And there you go for your Jolie's Jams. So we will take a look at our laptop travel list. It is 3-0. The Cardinals kicked the field goal. Still the first quarter with 3:20 left. And it looks like the Cowboys have the ball right now. They're just showing a replay of the field goal. And it went like right over. Wow, that was close. It was right inside the post right there. So that was a pretty close field goal, but yeah, 3-0. And Cowboys had the ball in about their 22 with 2:55 left in the first quarter. So there you go. It's your Monday Night Football game update. And let's go through our laptop travel list. And I was going to go through some of these before. And Laptop Travel said he had a really bad storm, so I hope everything's good over there. And he said they had lost a lot power for a while, so hopefully Laptop Travel's all good and getting everything back to normal. So yeah, and everything wasn't that bad over there. So not sure. I'll have to talk to him later. And so anyway, let's look at but he still got us a list somehow. I mean, I'll tell you what, that guy works like around the clock. He is unbelievable, Laptop Travel. I think everybody in that Discord is pretty hardcore with what we do. That's for sure. And anyway, yeah. So Laptop Travel, hope you're all good and you get your power restored and all that good stuff. And let's look at your list right here. So I tried to start going through it. And like every single one of them look pretty good for tomorrow. So we'll go through the entire list and see what's going on. AAME right here, Atlantic American Corp. And this was running up today and looks like it's trying to keep some momentum. We'll see if it crosses through. It obviously has that resistance right there. So just one to keep an eye on in the morning right now. And ADAG right here was trying to move up as well. You can see trying to bounce off that support, trying to roll off the MACD. So keep an eye on ADAG in the morning as well there. And DZU, what was it? DZUN or something. Yeah, Boazin. And this is a China one right here. And obviously, we know that these things have been popping up. So this could get curling right there at any moment and try to get running. So BZUN, I'm not familiar with it, but it doesn't look too bad. CLSD is that Clearside Biomedical. And we were talking about this yesterday. As a matter of fact, it had been running up last night, or that was running up Friday. We were talking about it the other day and last night, CLSD. And it was running up a little bit more today. So there you go. And ELSE right here, electro sensors. And this was trying to run up a little bit today. And look at it. It looks like it's trying to break through that MACD right there. So you can watch how these electro sensors try to work the market tomorrow for ELSE. I wasn't familiar with that one at all. And I was like, I have no idea what they do. And Gran right here was running up big today. Look at that thing. I know that was on the list last week. So there you go with GRAN, a Hong Kong one Grande group. And that was cruising along and looks like it still has a little more room to run. So watch that one tomorrow. HLLY Holly Inc. is Auto Park Company right here. And let's see what this one's doing. They're coming up on their earnings. So many earnings coming up, and they are on Friday. I didn't hear too many of them on Friday. That's one of the first ones I've said the 7th. There's a ton of them on Thursday on the 6th. It's crazy. But HLLY on Friday right there, and we'll see. It's trying to roll up. It's not looking bad. I was checking it out. Like I said, I looked at the list and I said that one looks pretty good right there. And I said that with just about all of them, I think. So anyway, JLHL. This is another China one right here. And this one's trying to get curled up. Look at that crazy chart right there in that channel. So keep an eye on JLHL. I'll be looking at that in the morning with all these China ones running up. And OPRT is I have no opportune something like that. Financial Corp something. But anyway, they have earnings coming up tomorrow right there. So a lot of earnings, and it does look like it's trying to roll off. So if you're a big earnings folks right there, you can check out some of these guys that are setting up with their earnings, and that's OPRT. And let's cruise right through the rest of these. RPay, Repay Holdings, a little bit of a dip, but it's in that channel where it can bounce back up. So that's what you're watching for there. And Thor, this was running up today and then pulled back. So I did see that one running up. So we'd have to look at that. And this one's setting up to run more. VEE, this is a recreational vehicle one. And check it out. It's cruising up right there. That one could be a good one for tomorrow to keep your eye on. And VNRX right now, violation. I don't even know what the heck that's called. Anyway, let's see what the chart looks like. That's all we really care about anyway. And it is curled through. It is trying to set up that 20s coming down. It has a little resistance right here at about 45 something. It's at 44. This one's not looking too bad. VNRX, I'd keep an eye on that. Those look like it has a good curl up right there. And there you go with your laptop travel list. So thank you very much, Laptop Travel. Even sending in a list when his power goes out. It's pretty impressive right there. I'm not going to lie. And I'm sure he could use his phone or something, but just the fact that he has to run a scanner and all that good stuff and getting his power back on and still sending over a list and being super reliable every single day. So yeah, appreciate you, Laptop Travel, as always. And of course, Asian Joe Lee. So yeah, follow them too. I mean, Asian Joe Lee and Laptop Travel have been sending lists in for like a year now, probably. They were I'm pretty sure I know Laptop Travel listened to like the very first show. I know for a fact. Asian Joe Lee might have actually listened to one of the very first shows as well, and has been contributing ever since with her Jolie's jumpers. And that's how it all started. She would make a Jolie's jumpers list every day, and then I just incorporated it into the show. And now she's a part of this show every day. And now she has a segment on the morning and the afternoon because she had in the evening because she always had Rhythm, Blink, Sizzle, and these guys on in the morning. And I was like, well, clearly you like these and they're pretty good ones. So let's just make your own section at nighttime and look at them then. And that's what happens. So yeah, pretty cool stuff right there. Luis Rodriguez, I think he was probably on one of the very first shows as well. So a bunch of people honestly listened right at the beginning and still are listeners and listen all the time. So I greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in. You guys know that. And yeah, we have a good time looking at stock charts, having fun, having an entertaining show, updating you on some sports. It's 3-0 in the Cardinals game. They have the ball back over the Cowboys, so almost the end of the first quarter right there. And here we go. So that was your laptop travel list, your Jolie's jams, and now we'll look at our Spy Mag 7 big caps, all them guys, and then we'll see what you guys want to see because I see Luis Rodriguez threw a few up there to go through, so we'll look at them. And everybody else is Lewis in Utah. How are you? And I'm pretty sure that's is that Utah Utes at the no? I forget if that's Utah Utes. Maybe not. Utah Utes is no, it's definitely not. I know for a fact. I'm pretty sure I know for a fact. I don't know anything. You guys know that. All I can do is look at a stock chart. It's crazy. But let's see. I'll go through these and then I'll go through and see what you guys want to see. The housing specialist in the NYC is back tonight. There you go. And give you a breakdown on the NFE. It's up 40%, and there going to be a squeeze play or something tomorrow. We got to look at NFE. I don't even know what that is. And New Fortress Energy. And let's see, it was squeezing up in the after hours. You're absolutely right. So we're going to have to hop over here and take a better look at it real quick. And it does have potential. You know what's going to happen here, the housing specialist of NYC. What generally happens and what it looks like wants to happen here, because it's not crossing through the MACD just yet, and you're 20 and 50, you're right there. Watch for it. I hope you have Webull. If you have Webull, I'd get up at like 4 a.m. and watch this thing, because it could get an initial spike up early in the morning. We see it all the time, and the market's a little bit crazy today. And then this is like your new trends that go on all the time now. It's a different kind of market pattern. That's what we always talk about. So, yeah, it could get that spike up at 4 a.m. is what it looks like, and then it could pull back. So, that's what it looks like to me, the housing specialist. So, and again, we talk about being able to trade at 4 a.m. on Webull and that IBKR. I know it was on the list. Yeah, Interactive Brokers, whatever, but that's apparently not that great. Someone mentioned one the other day. What was it called? Like Mumu or something? Something like that. I'm not familiar with it. But Webull's great, obviously. And you can trade at 4 a.m. up to 8 p.m. overnight, all kinds of hours, everything you want to do. It's crazy. And it's really, really user friendly and everything else. So that's what it looks like there, the housing specialist for that. What was it? NFE, this one. And we'll look at it tomorrow. I'll write it down over here on the side. We'll take a look at it in the morning for you, see what it looks like at the 7 a.m. hour. And I constantly hit that volume thing all the time. So I guess if I mute it out, I'll look over and notice it. But anyway, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it for you there and see what it wants to do. But here we go. We'll go through our Spy Mag 7, all them dudes real quick, and your RKT in a few moments there, Zach. You know that. And our SPY did close up, but it doesn't look great, and it was pulling back there in the after hours. We were already looking at it. So we'll just cruise right through, because nothing really looked that great today, except for the ones that we already went through. Like Tesla and them couple right there. Apple was pulling back some, and Amazon, that was one of them that did look good on the AI news or whatever. Yeah, Open AI news, that's what it was. And Google was up a little bit, but nothing real crazy in the top right there. And let's look at Meta. That wasn't too great. That's still dipping down. We should be looking at this MET. Is it? Yeah, METD. It's just a one-time bear, but look at that thing running up there. So yeah, we should have been looking at that bad boy. MSFD right here is a Microsoft one, and that's the bear one. So that's why it's moving up, because Microsoft's moving down a little bit as well right there. And how about your NVIDIA was up a little bit today, and obviously then Microsoft, all kinds of people there joining forces and all that good stuff. And Tesla's been running up, obviously, and did look good today. So there you go with TSLA. And AMC still getting set up down here. Probably bottomed out, but there you go. And Sam, he said he wants the IWM to fall apart. We were shorting that down today and then started running up at the end. If you're in the live trading in the Discord, we were having good old time, I guess. We're not. We'll see what happens tomorrow with that IWM. But yeah, AMC right here is pulling back, just kind of getting set up down there. And GameStop down here at that other trend line. So another one has to get set up. And Chewy was also pulling back big. And I thought that was trying to bottom out. And you can see it even dipped further. So interesting right there. And they could have some dips in them. Unity, though, has been getting set up. It did have a little bounce around, and I would wait. They have their earnings coming up on Wednesday right there, so we'll be watching Unity. And what about Netflix? That was pulling back there. Netflix looks like it could be coming down pretty big. I don't know what that NFX, what are they? NFXL? No, S. There you go. That's the bear one right there. So if you wanted to play the ETF a little bit less money on Netflix, that's how you would do it right there with NFXS. So you keep an eye on that, as Netflix looks like it is pulling back some. AVGO, let's look at our semiconductors. They were pulling back, but MU was blasting off here. So interesting stuff going on right there. AVGO down, MU up. TSM right here was up a little bit. Not looking too bad. Looks like it's trying to get set up. I just don't think it's ready. SMCI, remember, it's in that channel, and we had said it will stay in that channel right there, and that's exactly what it's doing. AMD, we were just talking about it, and they do have earnings coming up tomorrow. And that one's crazy to. I mean, it can go either which way. That's why I hate earnings reports. And we'll look at it in the morning. I'm not sure what time their earnings are, Janica, to be completely honest with you. But we will be watching that one in the Discord. You know that. And we'll be talking about it. We'll go over it in the morning show and look at AMD. QCOM here had a little bit of pullback. It was up there for a little while today. And Snow wasn't looking bad. And it's been running up to the top. It could continue to run up a little bit more. And PayPal fell back down. So that is dipping down at the moment. And here is your Intel, and that one's even dipping down. Looks like it wants to pull back some more. And Dell right here was even pulling back. So I do think we're seeing a little bit of pullback. The markets don't look amazing. Let's put it that way. Michael Berry's looking for Michael Anthony to talk to about his Pfizer position. And what did he put a big short on tonight? Or today? I forget what you even said. Somebody said Michael Berry put it. Was it Palantir or something that he did? And the Cardinals just scored a touchdown, so it's 9-0. And if they can kick the extra point, it'll obviously be 10-0. And the second quarter and 12-17 left, and it was to Harrison Jr. So there you go with your update on the game. So there you are with IBM and your update on that. And it does look like it's pulling back a little bit as well right there. And Palantir, was that the one Michael Berry put a huge short on? Was it this one? And then went way down the after hours. We were looking at this thing, and again, we were just talking about went straight up and then came straight down, and it did the exact opposite of HIMS. It was pretty interesting. We were watching both of them for the earnings. HIMS went straight down and then went straight up right there. I mean, it was pretty mind-boggling the way that worked, and I bet it shook a lot of people out. That's for sure. Whenever you see spikes like that, but there you go. And yeah, that was the what the heck were we looking at? Was Palantir right there, PLTR. So yeah, he did. I think he put like a huge short position on this. I don't know if it says it down here or not, but there you go. And that is your Palantir. So we'll be looking at $918 million in puts, guys, on Palantir. How about that for you? So I think people knew it was coming down, I guess, or they wanted to come down for sure. And let's see what SoFi's doing, or Sophie, or whatever it's called. And that's actually looking pretty good there for tomorrow. So you might want to keep an eye on Sophie. Maybe it tries to do something. And there's not a whole lot of momentum plays or anything real crazy for tomorrow. That's for sure. And let's see what's happening here with Mara and Riot. They're pulling back, obviously, when crypto looks like that. Look at Riot still trying to hold itself up, but I would assume it's going to be pulling back. CleanSpark was, and MicroStrategy also was. So way down there for strategy. He's definitely not liking this crypto pullback, that's for sure. And let's see what Robinhood and all these Coinbase and other ones are doing. Robinhood just bouncing around. Not looking bad there for Robinhood, actually. And Coinbase way down there, though. So keep an eye on that. I know Bull was down a little bit more in the low 10s. And some good opportunity down here. They have earnings coming up in a couple weeks, but yeah, just pulling back a little bit more for that wee bull. So has to get set back up. Space right here pulling back as well for Virgin Galactic, and Boeing is doesn't look great right there. It was up a little bit, but doesn't look amazing. And here's your DJT back into the 1450s, Michael Anthony. So there you go. I don't know how low you're going to chase that bad boy, but it's definitely pulling back. Nike pulling back pretty good, and so is Lulu right there. So a lot of these ones are still pulling back. We thought they were setting up. They did run up a little, but they pulled immediately back. So they didn't stay up. Let's put it that way for your what accessory ones, what the heck, or apparel ones, that's what it's called. So yeah, your apparel retail and a bunch of them pulling back pretty good right there. And let's see what good old McDonald's is up to. And that's pulling back again. It was running up, coming back down to that support line. Could get ready to bounce up. And Disney, Luis Rodriguez, still getting saved on this thing. and it does have a crazy look right here. But if it doesn't get through that 113, you're going to be safe because it's going to push it straight down right there. So it is. It's a tight one. It's walking that tight rope right there for Disney. And Oxy right here had been looking really good to get moving, and it still doesn't look bad. Look at that thing. I think your oil and gas is trying to get set up as well. And let's look at ExxonMobil right there. It was down a little bit as well. That one could pull back a little bit. And Gush right here was up a little bit and looks pretty good. And that Boyle looks like it wants to run. So keep an eye on Boyle and Gush for tomorrow. They're not looking bad right there. And that DXYZ, Destiny Tech, pulling back after it ran up. And that thing's trying to get set up still. So keep an eye on that thing. DXYZ still getting set up. Not exactly a great momentum play. It wasn't popping up today, but it was moving on Friday and could still move. So there you go, everybody, for that list. And let's go through and see what you guys want to see. And we'll go through and knock them out 10-0. Like I said, Cardinals up over the Cowboys. Cowboys had the ball on their about 28-yard line, 11:40 left in the first quarter, and they got a first down. So there you go with that update. And I'll let that game continue. And we'll go through and see what you guys want to look at real quick. And like I said, we can probably wrap it up pretty quick tonight, as well as the market is just not looking that crazy, to be completely honest with you. Maybe we do have a little lull in it, but obviously we'll be picking out the best opportunities as we did with MSPR and other ones today. So there you are. And tomorrow is election day, everybody, especially if you live in New Jersey. Luis Rodriguez, who already did his early voting, I believe. But be sure that you're going out to vote no matter where you live, and especially if you're in New Jersey, because it is a very important governor race. And honestly, it was like 84 to whatever. I forget. We'll look at these things real quick because we do that. And look, I was going to say the Gus shutdown was all the way to December 2nd or something, or 3rd earlier. And now it's back to November 29th. And that's trying to pull back. And looking at November 8th through 11th, we'll have to see what's going on right there with them. And that's what the shutdown looks like. Nothing too crazy. And our Fed decision right here, as you can see, that decrease is pulling back a little bit, and your note change is curling up, but I'm not so sure they really bounce right through each other. And here's your no change right there, and your decrease right here, and they could be curling up, but we have some time until January. And then your March one's way up there with no change, but that's got way too much time. So we'll be watching this one, and your decrease is still up, and we'll see what's going on as it rolls into December. But we still have Thanksgiving and all that stuff to get through before that. And let me see what the New Jersey governor's race looks like here. Luis Rodriguez, New Jersey governor election winner right here. Yeah, it was like 87 to 14. I was like, whoa, that don't look good. And this chart doesn't exactly look like it wants to jump off it. Well, this one doesn't look like it wants to curl up that hard yet. So we'll have to keep an eye and see what's going on. But I am definitely rooting for Jack down here, because this lady's crazy. If she wins, we're in real trouble in New Jersey. I'll tell you that. Our prices are already insane. You guys hear me talk about it, but I don't even think we'll be able to live. Luis Rodriguez, you want to tell everybody what your insurance went up? And everybody's insurances, health insurances, are going to be going up. But New Jersey's, it's insane with that. It's insane with everything. I tell you guys, my electric bill is literally like a mortgage payment now. It's bizarre. So yeah, that's what it looks like. And I didn't even know her name was Mikey Sherrill. That's what her name is. I thought it was Mickey Sherrill. And my wife was like, it's Mikey Sherrill. What the heck are you even talking about? I had no idea. You guys know how great I am at pronunciating names and even reading stuff. I don't know. I'm like, that says Mikey Sherrill? I'm like, oh, shit. I guess you're probably right. But yeah, that's what her name is. I had no idea how to pronounce her name until this evening. So there you go. And it sounds like I can't pronounce anything. I still can't even figure out what the guy's name from China is, she or whatever. And Laptop Travels tried to tell me a million times. And then we spent how long on this last night? And I still don't remember what the heck the name is. Eli Lilly or something. But it went up a whole lot tonight. That's all I know, or today. So there you go with that. And here we go. Let's cruise through and see what you guys are looking at, Lewis in Utah. SLDP. What is that? Let's see. SLDP. And that thing is trying to crawl up. They have earnings tomorrow as well, right there. Let me take a better look at it for you right here. Lewis in Utah, SLDP. And yeah, I mean, it does not look bad. Look at that thing trying to crawl up. I'll jot that one down for tomorrow for an earnings. There's so many of them. It's crazy. SLDP. Looking pretty good right there. So we will keep an eye on that one, I would say, and I'll check it out in the morning. But yeah, that's not looking bad going into earnings. Luis Rodriguez and Tesla was up on the news of over one. I think I said that for the compensation package for Elon there. And let's see what else is going on. We gave you a breakdown there of NFE, so I hope that helped out. And will Tesla stay up there? Robin wants to know, and it probably will, to be honest with you. Excuse me. But yeah, it doesn't look bad. And look at that thing; it looks like it wants to crawl right through. I guess it all depends when is the compensation package released. Is it Thursday or something? Here, Musk's 1 trillion. Will Tesla shareholders approve the jackpot? I'm not sure exactly when it is. They obviously should, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure when it's supposed to happen. First floated there. Boom, boom, boom. Not exactly sure. Let's see. I have no idea. I can't figure it out by looking at this report right here. So yeah, they just would make it easy and tell you what the date is right off the bat and say, hey, it's supposed to be this day. But they don't do that. They make you try to search for it. So I'm not even sure. I know it's coming up though. That is that I do know. So there you go with Tesla. And yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. And that top wealth group was looking good too. TWG right here. And look at that thing running up, looking really good. So yeah, got that on the list for tomorrow already. Deep Soul Diving and DZZ. We were talking about J Dust, and I couldn't remember what Dust was. DUST. So we were trying to figure that out, but they are the opposite of J Nug and Nug. And let's see, we were talking about AMDZR Janica, and we'll look at that. And yeah, Palantirs went way down, and they have a bunch of short positions on it. So it is getting beat down, that's for sure. And let's look at these couple right here. Luis Rodriguez, PRLD right now. Prelude Therapy. Wow, that one's running up. You guys can check that out in the morning. That could still continue to run right there. And IGRT. What is that? IGRT. I think that's a what one would that even be? I'm not even sure. Denny's right here getting grand slams back in the day for breakfast. And this one might be a grand. Oh, it already is. I was going to say that one looks like it could run, but I already cheated because I just noticed it was running in the after hours. So I can't really say that after I look at it before I say it, I guess. But yeah, it had that bounce up look off the momentum. And then I looked up and noticed. So yeah, that's already running up there. Good old Denny's right here popping up. And there you go. There was one of them in Canada in Niagara Falls. I forgot about that. I wanted to go. It was like right down the street from us, but I guess we didn't even have time to do it. Anyway, that is Denny's right there, looking pretty good. DENN and FGL. I saw this one earlier. Founder group. Didn't I have that on the list somewhere? Or did I not put it down? I thought I wrote this one down actually. I guess I did. This one was running up in the after hours as well, looking really good. FGL, and we've looked at this not too long ago, and it's had some big spike ups right there. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that one right there. FGL, that could be a good momentum play in the morning right there. So yeah, watch that one, FGL, and let's see NFE right here. What is that one? NFE. Oh, that's that new fortress. We were already looking at it. It was popping up there for NFE. That's the one that Um, the housing person. Hold on, I forget what their name is. No, I totally forget. Housing in New York City. Something I can't find you because there's a bunch of messages. But anyway, the housing person was asking about. Why don't I see your name? That's bizarre. Oh, there it is. The housing specialist. In that's who was asking about that one, right? NFE. Yeah. Okay. So I knew we were looking at that already. And let's see what else is happening here. And that was them guys on that list. And let's see, heavy hitters reporting tomorrow: Pfizer, AMD, SMCI, and Uber. all of them have their earnings tomorrow, huh? Let me jot them down over here just so I can keep track of them tomorrow and I'll have to look it back up. And that is Pfizer, PFE, AMD. We knew that one. SMCI, and also Uber is, I think, in the morning, possibly. I could be wrong, but they are definitely tomorrow right there. And we did look at a couple of them, but let's look at Michael Anthony's Pfizer right here and see what it's up to. I mean, it's not looking bad on that earnings. I would have to say it probably is going to run up there. If I had to guess, I would think Pfizer's running. And again, I'm terrible at earnings, guys, so don't take my word for any earnings report, but that's what it looks like to me. SMCI was hopping around in that channel right there coming into earnings. And if I had to assume, it would be pulling back down, but obviously could bounce back up. And we were looking at Uber, already talking about that one, driving, cruising into its earnings right there for tomorrow. So that was looking pretty good. Beyond, they report after the close, they were way down. What the heck did I type in? Hold on. BYND. What is going on? What did I even hit? I must hit something on my computer on this on the keyboard on this thing, and then the keyboard doesn't work. This happened earlier, and I like literally had to unplug it. It's a brand new keyboard. I have no idea what just happened, and this is the second time. I'm telling you. Let me see. Oh, all right, cool. I couldn't, it wouldn't type anything. It happened earlier. I had to like unplug the keyboard. Thank God I didn't have to do that now. But yeah, Beyond right here, BYND. They also have earnings coming up. That's November 11th, isn't it? Reports after the close. It says the 11th. I'm not exactly sure, Luis Rodriguez, but you may know something. And but I know it was pulling back right there today, and even that ASST right here was pulling back. So that never really got cruising. Wasn't looking bad. Still has potential, but never got moving there today. And if AMD doesn't blow away with guidance, it's going to pull back way hard. And yeah, that's why I'm afraid to play some of these earnings calls, especially when they're way up here. And like I said, 1, 2, 3 in the top. I assume that's coming down every time I see it. And Trump flew Citarelli's military son, yeah, from Kuwait to be with his dad on election day. I did see that, Luis Rodriguez. That was really nice right there. So yeah, I'd seen him show up to his dad's thing and surprise him. That's always, no matter who that is, that's always a great video, obviously. But so yeah, I did see that surprise visit. RKT right here. Good old rocket companies. And let's see, it does look pretty good there, Zach. I must say, I got to keep that one on watch for tomorrow, RKT. And I know you've been all over that one for a little while here. And it has been looking pretty good. It had its run up, a little bit of pullback, not looking bad right there. Hitting this MACD line just as we see right here, trying to curl up. Just had its earnings the other day. So, yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on RKT. And IBKR, Deep Soul Diving said, is the best for the foreign countries. I had no idea. So that's why we don't use it. It's kind of like basically in crypto, how we all use Coinbase in the US and everybody else uses Binance. It just so happens that our Binance in the US sucks. And the Coinbase is great, but Binance in everywhere else in the world is awesome. You can get like all the coins, all the action and everything. And it's very limited here. So very bizarre. I don't know why. And I guess that's how like Webull and IBKR are. This one you're saying is good for the foreign countries, and obviously Webull's great for us. But there you go. That's all I know anyway. And for use energy fuels, they had earnings, I think, or is it tomorrow? I believe. I forget. That's tomorrow as well. I'll add that to the list. And that one looked like it was pulling back right there, the 4Us. So we'll see. And there's so many on the earnings list for tomorrow. It's kind of crazy. And let's see the IWM. We are hoping that dips down right there for Sam and obviously Ben. And yeah, we were trying to short this bad boy down, then started running up at the end of the day right there. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Obviously, tomorrow morning there, Sam. So you know that revenue was up while losses remain unchanged. NAMC earnings on Wednesday, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And we were talking about Palantir and $918 million in puts. MU was running up there today. and that was a beast mode right there. Could continue to run up. So definitely keep an eye on that for a little momentum right there. And Carvana right here. And they just had their earnings the other day. They missed, and then it bounced right back up there today. I forgot about Carvana. Did see this one, and it is ripping right back up. So there you go. It's CVNA, and that one was up 8% today. It doesn't look bad getting back over that trend line. Has the 20 right there at 343, which has some good space, being that it's at 332. So keep an eye on Carvana right there. That's for sure. And Luis Rodriguez, I thought you did say you voted early. I'll go and vote tomorrow. As a matter of fact, my town has, and I told you I ran in the elections. I had to go to like 5 different polls. It was crazy. Well, Dallas just blocked a punt right there, so I have to see if they got it back or if they scored. Oh, it hit him right in his mask. I mean, the punter kicked it, and yeah, they got it in the end zone. I thought it was going to go in the end zone from where they were at. So I guess the Cowboys might have just scored a touchdown, as a matter of fact, on a block punt. Anyway, um, yep, that's 10. It's about to be 10-7 if they kick the extra point right here. And he did. So 10-7. The Cardinals are still up, 3:58 left in the second quarter, first half. And yeah, my town, we have like 5 different parts of voting polls in my town. It's crazy, guys. So it's not really ever a long line. They break up the town into different sections, and then they have like 4 or 5 different locations to go vote at, and you're assigned to a different like location depending on where your location is in the town. And they have a voting area real close, and they use like the old church. They use what else? They use some I don't even know, the community center, the housing building over there in the park, and a couple other things they use. So yeah, that's what they do around here in my town anyway. So it's never really a really long line or ever really difficult. So I just go right to the polls. I know my wife, she got to go to work and all that good stuff. So she obviously already voted early, and but yeah, I'll just drop off Dougie and probably go vote real quick tomorrow. So yeah, make sure you go vote tomorrow. It's election day. And Cigna right here was bouncing back up. Check that bad boy out. Not looking bad. We'll have to keep an eye on that as a momentum play for tomorrow. So that is CI right there. Good old Cigna. And Win. Let's see what his casinos are up to tonight. And it is cruising along, and that's not looking bad. When's that earnings coming up? And that's in a few days on November 6th. So that will be Thursday. And Win looking pretty good. I think he might have a little bit of momentum. So maybe a couple. Someone mentioned, was that you that mentioned that one yesterday? So yeah, I would say Win looking pretty good. Deep Soul Diving said WTF, another overlooked China one. I thought you were saying what the F. I was like, what's he saying? What the F about? But anyway, it was WTF. Watton, something financial group, whatever. And I'll mark that one down for the old penny. Well, that's not, I guess it kind of is, but that one's not bad right there. I'll mark it down for the morning. WTF. I do remember looking at this not too long ago, but yeah, look at that trying to get set up right there. You're not lying there. Deep Soul Diving, $3,200 per month for a family for coverage, 20% increase in deductible up to 40%. And that's for your health insurance now, guys. So get a load of that crap right there. How crazy is that? Pretty wild, huh? And so yeah, that's pretty steep, I would say. And let's see, Gatewatch, how are you this evening, Gatewatch? Reposted this stream. Oh, thank you, Gatewatch. Appreciate that for reposting the stream. I didn't even know it told me when somebody did that, but there you go. Thank you very much. And let's see, Toyota Motor right here is holding up. And you are the Toyota Motor King right there, Luis Rodriguez. And yeah, it got up. I didn't even know it got spiked up the other day to what, 211 right there. And now you're at 205, not looking bad. So there you go with TM. And let's see what else is going on. Deleted. And XPON. Let's see what that looks like. Last ER, it ran good. So let's take a look at XPON. And that one is XBeyond 360. And let's see. They do have, I don't even see that it has earnings coming up. Let's see if it says it over here by any chance. XPON. November 17th, maybe? That's what it says on there. Doesn't say it on here. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be. So, report second quarter. Not exactly sure. That was back in August. So, that's probably coming up. And I just don't know the exact date right there. And it does have a little bit of setup time here this week. So, maybe if it is back there, it would get set up. If it is, back here for November 17th, that absolutely could get set up for that one. Deleted. So yeah, keep us updated on that. And if you do know exactly when the date is, let us know and we'll track that down. And shareholders can vote up to 11 p.m. on November 5th. Results will be announced at the shareholder meeting on November 6th, and that will be for Tesla right there. So, and I forgot. Let me mark down. I never even voted. I have shares in E-Trade, obviously. So I have to see how the hell to vote there. And we have an election tomorrow in California. And may that one crooked guy not win. Doge Mama 9. Yeah, I'm saying the same thing about New Jersey right here. So yeah, everyone go out and vote. Make sure you go out and vote and go out and vote. And make sure you go out and vote tomorrow. It's very, very important. Let's put it that way. Big elections coming up tomorrow, and IHRT was the one that was a typo. And High Heart Media, I know this company right here. They have a bunch of radio companies broadcasting right there, and there you go. iHeart Radio, everyone knows this company. And let's see, it was kind of, oh, it ran up in the after hours right there. Let me see what was going on then. IHRT definitely ran up. This says no clear catalyst identified, so I'm not sure what it's running up for, but it did pop for some reason, iHeartRadio, and I'm not sure I would have saw that one running, but it did pop up. We'd have to look at it and see. And no problem, deleted. You keep us posted on that. And Deep Soul Diving, use Coinbase as well. Kramer likes Wolf, Luis Rodriguez said. So watch out, Terra Wolf. You might be in trouble real soon. Although you do look pretty good, I bet, until coming up to earnings November 10th, which is on a Monday, like next Monday. So that could get in trouble next Monday. Terra Wolf, so beware of that if Kramer likes it. And lightning round. Um, you're a believer in Wolf, says Jim Kramer. That's Luis Rodriguez said, F me. I know he had that one. Michael Anthony, tell Kramer to get back into his lane. And yeah, Michael Anthony's watching that right now, checking it out, and he'll come back and tell us what Kramer was talking about tonight. And we might not even be on. We might actually be off already by that point because there's not a whole lot happening. I mean, there's a few, don't get me wrong. We ran through the entire market and looked at everything, just looked at all the messages and everything else. And let me just take a quick look and see if there's anything trending that I happen to miss over here. Palantir down, SPRT, the U's, 4U's, HIMS we talked about, Meta. CAPR definitely didn't go up like I thought it would. It definitely pulled back down. I was looking at this last night and this morning, and it just came immediately right down. It was looking good going into the 9:30. I was looking at it and talking about it on the morning show there, and then it just dipped, and I was like, "Well, that just dipped hard, so that's out of that's out of the play, out of the question." So yeah, Capricorn, that one definitely dipped down right there. And let's see, QURE took a really nice dip today too, as well. And let's see where that's at. That one dipped down pretty good there, down $33, almost half 50% almost. So that's a pretty good dip from 75 to 31, I must say. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Remember, we were just looking at this thing not long ago, and now it's way down there. And what's it say? They announced today that the FDA no longer agrees phase 1-2 AMT 130 data are adequate for BLA submission or something. So there you go. That's what happened to them today. And what else is going on over here? Let me see if I see anything else. And PLTZ, I don't even know what that is. And that's that's Palantir's short. Look at that, guys. We found it. It's right there. Palantir short. PLTZ. Check that guy out there for tomorrow. PLTR short. That one looks like it's getting played up. And TERN. Turns Pharmaceuticals, and that ran up pretty big, like 69%. So check that one out in the morning. Could be a little momentum play there for TERN, and that's what they look like right there. and that hut was jumping up, and I don't even know how. I thought this was a crypto play as well. One of these capital markets. Some of these capital markets are really starting to cruise right here, and I know there's a few pages of them, but there are some really getting set up like BGC. Look at that thing. So yeah, I would say I'll have to go through some of them and take a look. Futures are red right there, Luis Rodriguez. So thank you for that heads up. And let's see, Block Trade's asking for a couple over here. One I see anyway. VWAV, you got it, Block Trades. And let's see what that's doing. VWAV. And that was pulling back today. It looks like it's going to pull back some more, even though it might have went up a little bit in the after hours. VAW, yeah, let me say VWAV, Vision Wave Holdings, and it looks like it's pulling back to me. I know it's coming back to that 20, but it could definitely come through it and go down. Is what it looks to me there, Block Trade. So there you go. I hope that helps you out. And let's see anything else going on over here. I think we got everything. We were talking about that KVUE at the very beginning. It did run up pretty big today, and we were talking about it this morning. So there you go. Take a look at the CORT tomorrow, guys. That one looks good. We talked about that last night and a couple other ones. So that is what the market looks like. It's not exactly real exciting right now, but I do have a whole page of pretty good setups that I marked down. So you guys can keep an eye on that. I'll make the night note, put that in the Discord, and then we'll be on at 7 a.m. tomorrow to go through the market to see what it wants to do. We'll be looking at crypto. Bitcoin's back at 107.57 right there. Ethereum 36.45. Solana's at 168. And our Ripple's at 234 right there. So that is what they look like. And I definitely love having my stock cube right there. It feels like it's back at home. I had it way too far away. I couldn't even see it. Had no idea what was going on. But now I love it. So that is where I'm getting them prices at from the stock cube. So you guys can check that out. And there you go, everybody. So thanks again for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. You guys know that. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, everybody. And thanks again, like I said, for tuning in. Be sure to follow along on X, Instagram, YouTube, and all that good stuff. And like the show. Give it a repost. Who gave it a repost there? Gatewatch. Appreciate that. Gatewatch right there. So yeah, give the show a repost. Let other people see it. And Lewis in Utah, I don't know why. Your messages are going to the top tonight. And QuantumScape, I almost said QScape. QuantumScape right there, QS. That was ripping up there, hitting resistance on Friday, and then pulling back there today, hitting the 20. It looks like it's kind of bouncing around right there. I might have to look at QS tomorrow, see if it wants to stay on the 20. From there, it looks like it wants to come down, is what it looks like. QSI looks like it's dipping, and so many others. So like I said, the market does not look beautiful, guys, and that is what it looks like. But we'll definitely find the opportunities, and perhaps we start to short some of these down if they're definitely going to go down. We put some puts on them and take them down that way. So that's what we'll be looking at in the morning. Let's see what our news stories say. Asian stocks fall after weak U.S. data and dollar gains. Stock market news. NASDAQ rises. Kimberly Clark to buy Kenevu. Who's Kimberly Clark? But that's why KVNU's up, huh? And obviously they must be, Kimberly Clark must be, what the heck did I type in? what is it? KVUE. That's what it is. And there you go. Kimberly Clark to acquire Kenvue in $48.7 billion cash and stock deal. And the shares surge over 22% right there. So there you go. I don't know who Kimberly Clark is, but the CEO is Mike Hsu, HSU. I don't know how to say that. And he goes he went a one-on-one with Kramer today. Oh man, they're in trouble right there. Tylenol's parent company will combine with the makers of Huggies. So I guess the makers of Huggies, the diaper company, is that right, is going to buy Tylenol? Does that make any sense to anybody? Let me see. I have to see this now. What the heck does that even is? What the heck are they talking about? I don't even know. I can't find it. But anyway, they were spun off in 2022 from Johnson & Johnson, and Johnson & Johnson kept its recognizable name for its larger pharmaceutical business. So I didn't even know they got spun off right there. And then these guys are gonna buy it up. I don't know, guys. Anyway, I can't follow that article to save my life. But there you go, Kimberly Clark Hospital. Uh, Kimberly Clark Hospital tissues, lab wipes. Is that what they have? I have no idea. I don't even know what the company has, to be completely honest with you. It said something about Huggies. And I was just like, isn't that diapers, Huggies, right? And anyway, there you go, guys. I told you it's not hard to confuse me. So there you are. And Kim wipes, is that what they have? Lab wipes, and they're probably really popular. But I have no idea what the company does, but I'll take your word for it. Deep Soul Diving, that they have Kim wipes, and they probably are used all over the place in the hospital industry. So there you go. That's what the market looks like, everyone. And then we'll be on at 7 a.m. to find out what the market looks like tomorrow. You guys know that. And I think the Cardinals are trying to come down here and score, is what it looks like at the moment. So there you go. I'd say that's a pretty fun market review this evening. Crypto down, obviously, but we'll see if it can claw its way back out of that red hole right there. What does it say? Doge was at 17, under 17 right there. Yeah, the Cardinals are about to try to score, and they did on a quarterback sneak. So it's about to be 17-7 right there. Second quarter of 49 seconds left. So you guys can go enjoy the second half of the NFL game, Monday Night Football game. Cardinals are up. So you guys can go watch that. Huge company of tissue paper products. Yeah, I have no idea what they do. Deep Soul Diving, but I'll definitely take your word on that. That's for sure. And there you go, everybody. So again, follow along on X, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. Like the show, repost it out, and come back for our show at 7 a.m. We do this show at night. Every Sunday night through Thursday at 8 p.m. And usually we have a lot more to talk about, but the market is really not popping right now. We're even setting up. It looks like it has a little bit of pullback, which is surprising because it looked like it was about to run, and now it's pulling back. You can see crypto, everything else, and maybe it'll be like a week or so. So yeah, 17-7 Cardinals are up right now, and they did just score on that quarterback sneak and kick the extra point as well. So there you go. And we do our 7 a.m. show every Monday through Friday. And that is our pre-market show. And we'll be on at 7 a.m. tomorrow to see what this market wants to do. And then I'm always in the Discord at 9:15-ish. We go through the morning and we do some live trading up until about 10:30, 11. And then we get back into it around 3 o'clock and finish out the day. And then today on Monday, if you guys were on around 1 o'clock for the small cap show, that was a good show as well. And everybody on there was kind of cautious and not a whole lot of great setup. So it's not just me, you can tell. And Money Mark was saying, when I'm pretty cautious and saying, oh man, these charts are looking a little weird, something's not right, because I'm pretty optimistic all the time, and it doesn't ever matter what the market's going to do because we can always capitalize. I don't like when it looks like this and there's not many setups, and so yeah, we may have to take the market going down and make that our best opportunity maybe for a week or so. So we'll be all eyes on it and definitely be paying attention, know what's going on. You guys know that we always find a solution to the market and find the opportunities, that's for sure. So thanks again, everybody, and greatly appreciate you guys hanging out, everybody. Luis Rodriguez, Deep Soul Diving, deleted right there. Gatewatch, thanks for reposting. And Doge Mama 9, hope you had fun at your Dodgers parade today. I think that was today as well. And of course, Zach and Sam, we're going to be rooting for our IWM to be going down tomorrow. You know that. Zach will look at Rocket tomorrow, RKT. I'm going to put it right here. It wasn't looking too bad right there. We'll check that out. And everybody else, like Robin, how are you? And oh yeah, what did you say? Lewis said, Robin, I think Tesla hits 500 before the end of December, and you have January calls. I do think. Oh, do I think long term? I thought Robin was just asking for today, but yeah, do I think I think Tesla's going to continue to run up, Robin? Yes, I do, 100%. It looks too good. The housing specialist in NYC, we were talking about that NFE. Greatly appreciate you tuning in. You were in this morning and tonight, so that's awesome. And Lewis in Utah there with a couple. So thank you, everybody. And again, follow along. And if you ever have a question or anything, be sure to shoot me a message or a DM on X or anything. You can post and tag me in it, and I'll get back to you. You guys know that. And you can always post any kind of stock ticker or anything you want in the stream, and we look at everything, as you can tell. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. Go enjoy the rest of the game. It's 17-7 coming down. 49 seconds left in the first half, so you guys can go enjoy the second half, and I'll put the night note in the there you go, Michael Anthony. We were waiting for you as we're hopping off right here. Look at earnings after the close. We were all over it in the Discord there, Michael Anthony. We were looking at just about everything tonight, and SFM, did that jump big? Let's see. How did Michael Anthony keep us on while we were jumping off? And yeah, that did jump up, that Sprouts market. I'll go through them grocery ones tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact, there, Michael Anthony, and see what they look like. So there you go. But yeah, we're just about to hop off. Enjoy the second half of the football game and everything else. Not a whole lot going on, and we covered everything. And I know Kramer was just wrapping up. So you were hopping on here, but we are hopping off. Hop on in the morning, Michael Anthony, and we'll go through Sprouts and everything else there. So you guys enjoy your evening. We'll catch you at 7 a.m. Thanks again for tuning in, and enjoy your evening, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys in the morning. And I'll see you, Michael Anthony, and we'll look at your SFM. So there you go. Have a good night, and we'll see you at 7.